today in front of the polling center where they're counting the votes, where people are just dumping piles and piles of tablets on the top of the table. And a handful of people are looking through them. There's supposed to be 5 people there. There's not 5 people. Sometimes there's only 3 people. So when people are taking pictures of this, they're taking big cardboard pieces of paper and holding them up so you can't see what's going on inside. It's complete chaos, but most importantly, they don't tell us how many GOP people are in there. They're only going by the register that people sign in this morning. Nobody was told to sign out when you leave. So it's complete
So they won't let any
It's
GOP
complete nonsense.
people in because the GOP people were not told to sign out.
Exactly.
That's the scam.
This is not a fair election. This is a joke. This is bullying. This is intimidation. This is steal the election however you can. I'm tired. I hope you are too.
So explain one more time.
So the people that were in front of me, there were 2 people in front of me that used the Sharpie.
Yes.
That was given to them by the poll workers.
Yes.
It did not read their ballot.
Okay.
And they slid it in there twice. I used a pen.
Yep.
Took their Sharpie and threw it away.
And it read your ballot.
And it read my ballot.
And it read your ballot.
And it read my
So
ballot.
what they're doing is they're telling people to use the Sharpies. That way,
Yes.
those votes aren't counted.
Yes.
That's exactly what's happening.
Yes.
So there was other people that were in there voting with their pens, and they literally went around and they were yanking pens out of their hands.
Yes, they tried to do that to me, and I took their Sharpie and I hid it because then they said, look for all the Sharpies that are not being used and take the Sharpies back. They had a bowl of pens behind them that they were not giving to people and only giving Sharpies out.
There we go. So the ones with the Sharpies are not being read at all.
No,
No. None of those ballots are being read.
of course not.
So that's and so they're doing it because they're trying to skew all of the votes in
Yeah,
there.
and they
That's
didn't,
exactly
and they
what's
didn't
going
try
on.
to even slide it more than one time. They immediately took it and slid it in the front, like not even tried a second time. They just
That's correct.
ran it through and slid it in the front, and I was like, wait a
That's what they
second.
did with yours?
Yep, and I just went with the Sharpie and voted Trump, and she just slid it in, and that was it. But
But they're not counting. They're not counting the ones with the Sharpies. And so they're forcing people to use the Sharpies, and those votes aren't being counted.
Right.
That's what's going on.
Right, and then I posted it on my Facebook group chat in my neighborhood. They said they did it at the Queen Creek Library. They did it at ASU Polytech earlier. They're like 4 different polling places were doing Sharpies, all in like between Queen Creek and like the edge of Gilbert.
Yep. And those ones are not being counted.
Yes,
They're invalid.
yes,
Yes.
I have proof.
So they're invalidating votes is what they're doing.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
That's how
I
it
feel a
feels like.
picture of
Okay.
my ballot. For
And then
Trump.
there was a guy that directly came out and yelled at me 3 times. They both came out.
Oh no, they called the sheriffs
You guys
and said that
stop.
and told us to stop handing out the ballpoint pens, in which case those are the only ones that are actually being
Yeah.
counted and validated.
I used your pen and then I
Yeah.
gave it back to you and I
And
said,
they're-
give this to somebody. 'cause
Yes, yes. And so we know that, and we've been telling them you need to use a ballpoint pen, not the Sharpie, and now those are getting invalidated.
Yeah.
So people are coming here to vote for Donald Trump, and those votes are all getting invalidated. That's what's going on. There we go. That's all we need. Perfect.
She doesn't think that's what you
Welcome to the new America, people. That's what's going on.
Well, that is what.
So I took out my pen, same pen right here, and I said, okay. I went and grabbed my ballot, and she tried to grab my pen. Said, you can't use that pen, you have to use this Sharpie marker. It's exactly what she said, and I was like, I didn't say anything, I just thought it was a little bit strange.
During lunch.
I got you.
So
Okay.
I have.
And what
I've
have you seen?
I've seen ballots that don't belong to anybody. They don't show up in the voter registration. There's no name attached to them.
And what are they doing with those ballots?
I'm challenging them, and
Okay.
they're supposed to put them in a box to be then
Okay.
re-evaluated. But then multiple ballots that have several different numbers.
Okay.
One person with different numbers.
Okay.
We have whole lists of them. We're writing everything down all day long.
So are they improperly filled out and you're looking
Yeah.
to disqualify them?
Yes. If they're
Okay.
improperly filled out, if they have no name, if they don't have a home, or if the person was born in 1921 but registered to vote in 1900, that kind of doesn't make sense.
So, but that's not on the ballot. When you vote, your ballot is just the balls and what you
Right.
have on there. What are you seeing? Are you seeing people's
seeing-
registration
yeah,
forms?
yes, we are.
So on the tables, you have the ballot, and then you are able to see next to them
On a computer
on,
screen.
on a computer screen
we-
whose ballot
yeah,
that is.
Sometimes the ballot itself has no name, but the ballot is filled out.
Okay.
And then if we go into the registration file, we
Okay.
find the person that has been was born in 1921, and it's just there's a lot that's not right.
What's wrong with being born in 1921?
But registering to vote in 1900, 21 years before you're born.
And so I have the Baxter, Mr. Baxter, whatever, had to go to the head guy because I want to see every one of those ballots, copy them down, copy on the precinct because they don't show up on any list. So I just grabbed one box. It's 500 names of people that are not on the register, they're not on the supplement list.
Were you in there? She was in here this morning. She said it's
No, I've been in there all day. I just left.
And so why won't they let anybody into view?
Their capacity. They said there's capacity. In the morning, you could just walk right in. So I trained and walked right in.
Because of COVID, they're saying capacity?
We all have masks on.
No,
we'll put our masks on.
I think it's the poll workers
don't
don't
wanna
like us
see
there. And they're very rude.
But you're allowed legally to go. It doesn't say there's
Yeah,
capacity.
that's why we have the Supreme Court order.
Yeah.
You know, we got a bunch of people in our neighborhood that got wet ballots.
Really?
Like they weren't wet and dried. They were wet out of the mailbox in different areas of our community.
Our entire neighborhood solid.
And what do you think they would do with a wet ballot? They'd probably say, "Oops."
Boil it out. Yeah. Boil it done.
Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Downriver.
Okay.
I'm here because of the 38,000 ballots that arrived here at 3:45 a.m. that are just now sitting over there and getting counted, supposedly.
Okay.
And that's why I arrived.
Okay.
To an eye-opening of hypocrisy, let me tell you.
Okay.
How can you have supposed to be one Republican, one Democratic at a table,
Right.
and when we go up to ask, we're told you're not supposed to ask.
Okay.
And there's 4 Democrats to 1 Republican at a table.
How do you know
is
because of the
that
tags on the tags?
They were verified.
I'm going to cut away here. Something I want you to see. They're taping up the.
Exactly. And now there's been some controversy because we've heard about some mysterious box that showed up at 3 a.m. with 38-some thousand votes in it. You just heard her talk about it. I talked to other Republicans about it. We don't know where those votes came from. We don't even know if they're votes. We just know their boxes showed up, and they're here to make sure that someone didn't nefariously slip in 38,000 extra ballots in here. So if you can turn around and see what's going on back here. What we're told is they're counting military votes right now. And so security has been careful because I think they were worried that someone was getting a little too close to the ballots. Again, I keep saying this over and over again, but tensions are so high, and it's all coming from the Republicans who feel that they are being shut out, that they're being outnumbered, that they're being silenced. And they think that this system is set up so that all these votes, so that the process of counting the votes is only overseen by Democrats.
Table. Table.
That we do. That we do. I'm starting over out of your shoulder thing. Can you hear me? I'm good. Hustling again.
Are you guys collecting ballots? Yeah. I thought they collected them all. I just want to document.
No, we're still collecting.
How much? Wait, but how come they already called the state?
Because these are mail-in ballots. It's different.
Are there a ton in there?
Yeah.
All right. Are you collecting from a lot of places? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll just document. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Are you guys official election guys? All right, and let me just ask you one thing. Where do you guys take them?
Election center. That's it.
Is that in the government building?
LA County.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there a lot more in there?
6 feet, please.
Okay. Thank you, guys. I just want to see because they called our state so
6 feet,
quickly.
please.
I know. I am.
You don't have a mask either.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Are they allowed to do that? We able to get that 50% plus one threshold that Georgia requires in order to win the election outright. We also knew that Democrats had coalesced around Raphael Warnock, but we did not know what the second candidate would be because the Republican candidates were divided. In fact, there was a bitter fight going on between Kelly Loeffler and Doug Collins.
Tell us where you work.
I work in the Traverse City Post Office, more specifically the Barlow branch.
Your boss told you and your colleagues something that shocked you this morning. What was it?
We were issued a directive this morning to collect any ballots we find in mailboxes, collection boxes, just outgoing mail in general, separate them at the end of the day so that they could hand stamp them with the previous day's date. Today is November 4th, for clarification.
Who is your boss, and what is his title?
Jonathan would be a direct supervisor, yes. As of right now, he is the opening supervisor for the Barlow branch post office. So and this is anecdotal, a carrier down at another office said they watched the postmaster doing it. If it were just a typical day, it would be clerks doing it up at the distribution center.
So 8 p.m. election day, November 3rd. The Court of Appeals ruled ballots have to be received by that time. And what were you told?
To separate them today so they could mark them with yesterday's date and send them through the express system to wherever they needed to go.
This appears to be an attempt to circumvent Michigan law and allow late votes. And you said there was a hamper where letter carriers were supposed to leave their ballots. Where are the ballots now?
They were putting them into express bags to go to the distribution center. In regards to a hamper, there was a standard hamper that all letter mail is supposed to go to, and they had a tub next to it that we were supposed to put any ballots collected today into. Yes.
What made you come forward?
That's sketchy. I don't like sketchy. It screams corruption. Also knowing the post office's leanings politically, it didn't seem quite right.
What is your message to other postal workers who see things like this?
Report it. How are we supposed to have any integrity in this country if we are just going to let things slide based on a scaling issue?
Are you afraid of retaliation against you?
I've had whistleblower policies backfire on me in the past, so yes.
We'll have to reach out to Jonathan Clark for comment. Hey, is this Jonathan?
Yes.
Hey, I'm a reporter with Project Veritas, James O'Keefe here, and I have information that you guys have been stamping ballots with the previous date, November 3rd. He just hung up the phone on me. He just hung up the phone on me.
As I mentioned, we are not prepared to give that number. The Biden crime family stealing the election. The media is covering up. The Biden crime family stealing this election. The media is covering up. The Biden crime family stealing this election. The media is covering up. We want our freedom for the world. Give us our freedom, Joe Biden. Joe Biden is covering up this election. He's stealing it.
Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our administration, the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.